Hi, it's Therese in Lostinpaper and I'm here for Scrapbook Boutique, and today I'm going to be making a fairly clean and simple card. I'm going to start off with some stenciling because this, when you use the stencil paste, it does take a little bit of time to dry. So while I work on the rest of my card, this will have time to dry. This is a Heidi Swap stencil called Squares. It's pretty funky. I like that they're on a bit of an angle, or you could straighten them up and use them as straight lines as well, which is a good option because they're nice big stencils. The texture paste that I'm using today comes from Ranger and it's the opaque matte, and I'm only doing a section of my card and I'm working directly on my card front. It's a landscape sort of top fold card that I'm doing, and it's a fairly thick cardstock, so I'm hoping that this is going to hold up pretty well. I do just scrape off the very top before I lift my stencil up, and then go and wash everything and set this aside to dry. Next, I'm excited to say Scrapbook Boutique has some of the newer stamp sets from Altenew, and this is the Dahlia Blossoms, which is really sweet. I'm going to be using the smaller flower and the small leaf image out of this set, and they also have the crisp dye inks, so really happy about that as well. I'm using the blues to stamp out the flowers, a mixture of the sea glass, ocean waves and dusk, and I do actually use the onyx black to do the outline. And then I do fussy cut these out, leaving a small white border as well. Not really sure how many flowers I'm going to use, that's why I've done what I think is some extras. The leaf image, using the evergreen to do the outline. It's a nice dark green, it's almost black, and then the forest glades is the base colour. No, I'm lying. The frayed leaf is the base colour and the forest glades is the shading that I'm adding here. I've got the MFT's, this is the absolutely fabulous die, and can you see I'm pretty excited to have this. I just love it. My friend Linda had it and I was coveting it, and now I have it and I'm so excited. And I couldn't wait I wanted to do it in like a wood veneer sort of look. So this paper pad's perfect. It's a Simple Stories one. It's all different wood images, and on the other side of the cardstock is like paper or ledger images. So it's really fun paper pad. I like it heaps. Okay, so I do want to pop this up. So to give it some support, I've added my stamp runner too, just some scrap white cardstock. This is I have a cheaper version of cardstock that I use for things like this, so I'm not wasting my good stuff. Just to give something some support, and then I can just simply lay my die on top. And I'm not really sure what size my finished like the height I need, so I'm giving myself a bit extra, and then I can just cut the panel down when I'm finished. So I'm just going to run this through my die cutting machine and then finish cutting this through with my trimmer. And that's really easy to do because the trimmer has the guide wire within it, so I can see exactly where I'm going to cut. You could put a mark or use a pair of scissors as well. And doesn't this look fabulous? Oh well, it looks absolutely fabulous, I should say. And then here's the fabulous. I'm just going to die cut this out with just some white cardstock. And even though I have a magnetic plate in my Big Shot, I still like to add some tape, and then I know it's not going to move. I wanted sort of like an almost ombre effect on this die cut word. So I've got it's a B000 Copic marker. I decided if I go for a nice light marker, I won't have to do too much blending, and I've kept the base of the word white. Otherwise, just gently touching the marker to the tops of the letters, so that it'll be easy to pop this word up on the front of my panel. I've got my matte medium and die cut the same word in some fun foam, and then I can just lay the die cut paper or cardstock word on top and set that aside to dry. I've cut my panel down, added some foam squares to the back of that, and I did have a bit of warping on my card front, so to counteract that I have actually added a piece of just plain white cardstock to the inside of the front of my card, and that worked perfectly. Now I also have fussy cut my leaves, leaving a very small white border, and I've used some glue dots to adhere these because it's going onto that texture paste. I like glue dots, they're a real strong hold, or you could, if you weren't feeling very confident with those, you could actually use a liquid glue to hold them in place. And then finally, all I've got to do is add the word fabulous, and I've used some liquid glue. I just used the matte medium again behind that, because if I don't put it down perfectly, I don't end up with the Tombow, the other one, what do you call it? The Tombow Mono. It does leave a shine if you happen to move the word around. The matte medium doesn't leave that. It does take longer to dry, so I just set the block on top until I'm happy, and that's my finished card. Thanks for joining me today. I'll be back again real soon. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.